With Street Fighter 6 right around the corner, there's one thing I'm not seeing mentioned enough. And that is this lovable Soviet giant Zangief. More specifically, I'm not hearing enough people scream in terror while watching his footage. I think a lot of people still have Street Fighter 5 Zangief fresh in their minds. And in fairness, a lot of people share the opinion that he is the worst character in that game. I also think that a lot of people generally take one look at a game's tier list, see a character at the bottom, and just assume that they're unusable. I think Brian F says it best here, so I'll just let this clip play.
Tier lists are garbage. It's a great way to share your biased opinions and to give kind of a skewed perspective of the game. But once again, do not think that any characters I put in top tier mean that they are unbeatable, and any characters I put into a lower tier means that they don't win any matchups. Street Fighter V is a very balanced game as is. So for the most part, you're kind of splitting hairs, but don't get it twisted. A good player with a bad character could beat your or mine ass any day of the week.
He raises a really good point here. And that's that modern fighting games are much better balanced than they used to be. So, just because a character is at the bottom of a tier list doesn't necessarily mean that they're even a bad character, by any standard. And while Zangief in 5 did get done dirty in the last patch, there was a point in the game where he was actually really strong. In fact, there were multiple. Additionally, tier lists and matchup charts are only really applicable to the top echelon of fighting game players. So now that we've established why Zangief wasn't actually a bad character in 5, we can move on to why he's absolutely f***ing terrifying in 6. I'm only really going to be talking about core mechanics in this game, and also his command grabs. Outside of that, I don't actually know too much about the character because I haven't used him, so you're better off referring to a video perhaps by Rufalmonger or Sajam, maybe even Justin Wong, as they all have videos dedicated to the character. Okay, so let's move on to the most obvious thing, the spinning pile driver. In this game, it has a very fast startup with it only being 5 frames, so it's pretty easy to get out quickly. But the most notable thing about the spinning pile driver is definitely the damage. So in 6, a light spinning pile driver does 25%, which is already more than the heavy did in 5. That's a lot. The medium version does 29%, the heavy 33%, and the EX is 34%. That means Zangief can now kill you in 3 moves. And what's more is the EX moves no longer actually consume your EX gauge, they consume your drive gauge, which replenishes at the start of every round. And you think, okay, it's probably not that bad, right? Because he's not going to have any Oki after his command grabs, so he might get 1 at round start potentially, but then he's going to have to really work to get that second one. No, not at all, because Drive Rush exists. Grapplers are always an archetype that have been balanced by slow movement speed and not having many tools to actually get in, because if they did have those things, they would be absolutely unbelievably broken. In 6, they have given everyone the universal mechanic of a drive rush, which just allows Zangief to run up to you, sprinting headfirst at you. He just waits for you to fucking go into the parry mode so he can get a guaranteed command grab on you. Not to mention that he probably doesn't even need to use the meter to get back in, because spinning pile driver in 6 is like plus 30 on a successful grab. That is ridiculous, so he can probably just dash in and do it again, to be honest, without even having to use meter. But if he does want to use meter, he doesn't just have to use it on a drive rush, he could just do a running bear grab that has armor. So if you're like a projectile spamming, zoning character, he's just going to run straight through whatever you throw at him and grab you for like 30% of your health. Or he could lariat past it, or he could even level 2, God forbid, and then you really are fucked, because he can do that full screen. And if he's all up close and personal with you, you better not be caught mashing, because he can just instantly do a DI and an SPD immediately afterwards for like 40%. Now, of course, this is all worst case scenario. You could guess correctly and you could get a punish after it. But what I'm trying to say is that you have to work a lot harder for that 35% than Zangief does. And especially if he has something like modern controls equipped, where he doesn't even have to do a standing 360. He can just click a button and 35% of your health disappears. Of course, it won't be 35% with modern controls, because there is the nerf to damage with modern controls. Anyway, I just thought I'd be the bearer of bad news if anyone hasn't heard yet. So, enjoy trying to fight Zangief next week. I know I will be. And have a good day, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. See ya.
Gotcha, bitch!